Hey guys, and welcome back to this York City save. It's Darren from footballmanagerstory.com here, and yeah, we're on with the new season, guys. So, last season was the 24-25 campaign in which we finished 4th in the Premier League, attaining a Champions League spot and even getting to the League Cup final where we lost unfortunately to Manchester City 4-3. Fantastic season, bedding in a lot of new talent, of which you can see quite a bit of it here, but lots of work to do, which is what we're going to be addressing today. I want to show you some of the transfers, player development, what I've done with my coaching staff, and then we're going to have a quick look at how the season's begun, because the first 4 games have been fantastic, and then today you're going to watch me play out a couple of games. We've got one at home to Aston Villa, and the next one you're going to have to wait to find out what that is, because it's Champions League and I don't want you knowing what the group stage is just yet. I want to begin by showing you the left side of my midfield, because before we carry on, it's very relevant. Benjamin Sagnier, he was the first choice left winger as from January, replacing Moreno, who ended up leaving just this summer. You'll see that in a second. So I wanted to bring in a little bit more high class on the left wing, someone who could maybe finish a bit better, someone with better mentals. Cavalier was available from Manchester City, and I don't know, I really did like the look of the kid. I think his long shots were probably what caught my eye mainly, but then he's got good decisions, decent determination, he's okay off the ball, he works hard, he's agile, reasonably good with balance. He's got good acceleration, just a good all-round player. Good touch, good dribbling, good crossing. He can do a bit of everything. We ended up paying for him £40 million. A lot of money, I will admit, but he seemed like the best option at the time. Now, unfortunately, what I didn't realise is there was another player available, and we found out just after I confirmed that deal. And here he is, Jaron Lazic. Residing in Holland, playing for Feyenoord initially. We made an offer of 15 million with some add-ons of a further 15 million. With a lot of negotiating, I thought I'd almost got the deal over the line. Then Arsenal and Chelsea came and gazumped me completely. The deal ended up costing them 55 million. He's certainly worth that in my opinion, but it's just not what we're going to do. Not after we've gone and spent all that money on another player in the same position and we already have 2 left wingers. Just wouldn't be sensible to go wasting all that cash on another third player. So yeah, we missed out, I'm afraid. Would have been a great signing. Look at that acceleration, agility and balance. He can cross, great touch, can dribble. He's reasonably skillful, but he's off the ball movement, and those long shots, that's what really caught my eye, alongside his technique. So yeah, a bit gutted really. We also missed out on another player, Mikhail Feil, or Feil, however you pronounce it. He's a right back, and yeah, acceleration, pace, fantastic mentals, loving that. Good technique, can tackle, good first touch, but that passing as well, that really caught my eye. The passing along with his vision. Not very many fullbacks can do that. And it works very well with our system because we use inverted wing backs, so they need to be able to pick out a pass because they sit in quite narrow. Yes, his crossing, his dribbling need work, but that could be improved because the kid's only 20, and you're not going to believe this, but he was available for a whopping 11.25 million. He was on the transfer list. Somehow Borussia Mönchengladbach have just completely lost their minds, but why he chose Schalke over us? Well, it must be down to reputation. That's the only thing I can think of. We offered 70 odd K a week in wages, and despite Schalke offering less, he opted for them. So devastated. So missing out on those 2 players was really gutting, but at the end of the day, we are only in our 2nd season in the Premier League. It's to be expected that we're not going to be able to compete on the wages side of things and in parts on the transfer fees. We actually spend 725k per week on wages. That puts us bottom of the table under that stat. West Bromwich Albion spend 1 million per week. Manchester City, who are top of the pile, 5.75. There's a massive gulf there in class. We looked in the last episode at the stats for the sponsorships. We get somewhere around 12-13 million a year. Manchester United more than 200 million. The gulf is ginormous. We've already looked at Cavalier. We're now going to have a quick look at a centre-back I am really excited about. Yes, we paid 45 million for him, but we know that you always overpay on English talent, and this kid is talent. Great jumping, he's got good physical stats all round, can do a bit of everything. He can head, mark and tackle on the defensive side, but what I really did like was these mentals. He's an aggressive player that can anticipate play, but he's also brave, makes good decisions, and he's determined. And I'm also liking that leadership stat right there too. Positioning, we can strengthen that easily. Yes, his teamwork's a bit low, wasn't a massive fan of that, but we can work on every other facet of his game. So I'm quite excited about this kid. The only thing I'm not excited about is how the hell I pronounce that name. Guverneroglu. That isn't going to happen. Gunny. That's going to be his nickname. As for who left, well, it's kind of commandeered by the players we wanted to sign. Angel Moreno ended up going because there's no point in having 3 left wingers, and I wanted to cash in. So 11.5 million we got for him, and yeah, he was a good servant to the club. 11 goals, 15 assists in the championship, and last season he got 6 assists and a couple of goals. Certainly did a purpose. Etienne Tipple, who we signed for I think about £87,000 from Fulham, he ended up going to Anderlecht for 9 million. Great talent. We could have kept him, but just those mental stats, I wasn't a big fan of them. This kid here, Ronnie, we've had him for quite some time now. I think probably from around the National League days. Yeah, he improved bit by bit. To be honest, he never really had a look in. We always ended up with someone better than him in the left back position. So loads of players leaving on loan. Alanzinho's getting some experience in Spain, and that's going to get him his work permit. That's really important. And on that, I'm really excited about Gruezo, this right back. I've had him here for a couple of years now. He's now on his 2nd year in Spain, playing for Girona. That means he, next season, should qualify for a work permit, which means I'll have proper backup for Carvalho, rather than having to rely on Dionku, who isn't the best. Gruezo's got a bit of an all-round game going on there. He is physically good defensively. As I was mentioning before, I like high mentals, and we can certainly develop that technical side of his game as well. Talking of development, let's have a really quick look at what's going on with the training and the star ratings. This screen looked much worse last season. We've done loads of work during pre-season, bringing in a number of coaches. We've strengthened the defensive area, possession and attacking. We got a new assistant manager. We got a head of youth development. We got new physios, sports scientists, scouts, under 18 coaches, a complete and utter overhaul, all with the aim of trying to develop this young, youthful squad even further. On that note, I want to take a look at Gorka Rodriguez and a couple of other players and their development. If you have a look at their progress graphs, back when we signed him in 2024, he was classed as a 2.5 star player. He's now up to a 3.5 star player. Now, it doesn't mean an awful lot until you look at graphs like this here. Look at all those improvements. Yes, his determination's gone down quite a bit, but that's because I'm mentoring him to form some relationships on the right wing. If we also take a quick look at Strickland's progress, you're going to see a similar story. We've not had him for as long, so you'll have to excuse the fact that it's only gone up a little bit in certain areas, but still quite a bit of improvement there. And one that is really worth looking at is Todorovic. He's improved twofold since we got him. And again, he's not even been here that long, but still. And for me, the best improver has to be our goalkeeper. Bear in mind, we only signed Ray Savage back in 2024. That was only last season. Yet he's improved from a 1.5 star player to a 2.5 star player. But what really impressed me, if you have a quick look down here, look at the amount of attributes that have improved. His one-on-ones have gone up by 3. I mean, that's amazing to go up in 1 year by 3 in one area. But also things like his balance, his decision, his anticipation, just his all-round game has improved massively. And then we have a really interesting player, someone who I kind of wrote off when he first came in through our youth development system, and it's Eddie Ellis. He's a centre-back. Now, he's got a lot of areas that are quite low, but he also has some areas that are really high. I mean, his jumping reach, balance and his fitness are great, along with his aggression and his bravery. I quite like that, and I like the fact that he's good with his teamwork as well. Obvious areas of weakness for me: strength, really not good. His heading's quite low as well, and he's just not a technical player whatsoever. I know that we don't have the most technical centre-backs, but 6 is like really low. and his composure is going to be a problem. So we'll see how he develops. I'm going to keep him under 18s for now, but he has actually progressed quite a lot, considering. If you have a look there, yeah, so lots of improvement. If he can keep going that way, you never know. He might have a shot of being a fringe player. We'll have to wait and see though. I mean, what do you guys think? We've got players like Lewis Herbert, he's the main first choice centre-back. We've got Tedwin Brun, he's probably one of the backups really. Mark Mills is more of a reserve player. And yeah, we've got the new Gunny, or Gunny as I'm going to call him, nicknamed. Has he got a chance? Could Ellis actually break through at some point? Hit me in the comments, be interested to know your opinion. Let's jump into the schedule, and what a schedule it's been. The start of the season's been fantastic. My only slight concern is we've gone from scoring 5 to scoring 4, 3 and 2. The games we've got today are Aston Villa and Lyon in the Champions League. Now, the Champions League draw, I was really hoping to avoid the Barcelona group, which thankfully we did. That was a group of death with PSG. We ended up with Lyon, Real Madrid and Krasnodar. Now, it's not a bad draw. Obviously, Real Madrid are Real Madrid. Krasnodar, should I say, quite a good team, but they shouldn't cause us any problems. However, Lyon are an interesting one. They've got Agresta on loan from Manchester United. Now, this kid can play. He's fast. He's caused us problems in the past. We came up against him in the Championship. Odegaard as well, so very talented player right there. Letellier, player that's been on my radar for a little bit. I haven't made a bid and I'm probably not going to, but he is fast, so he's dangerous as well. Can dribble and he can shoot. Just general all-round talent. They've got some good players. Dominguez as well, you'll all know him as a wonder kid from the game, so not a bad team at all. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But before we go into that, let's just have a quick chat about what happened with the other games. So we began against Everton and thumped them 5-1. Alex Lewis scored the first goal, nice finish, and he came up with a penalty as well. Now, Andre Cavallo had a wonderful game scoring a complete corker before we ended up bringing Eddie Salcedo off the bench, and he was sensational. Ripped Everton apart. Now, of course, Bowen did get that consolation goal, which was a little bit disappointing, but at the end of the day, 5-1 in your first game in the Premier League season is a really, really good start. The only negative, Sagnier, my left winger, did end up injured. I think he was out for a couple of weeks. So he missed the Burnley game, which we ended up winning 4-0. And the thing of note with the Burnley game, Capadonna scored 2 goals. He's my left back. And Andre Carvalho, my right back, assisted 2 goals. Jared Strickland, who is by no means a goal scorer, came up trumps. And our favourite, Todorovic, or my favourite anyway, came in with his first goal of the season, which was wonderful. Then on to the Chelsea game. Now, this was a really good game. It was our first test of the season, really. And some wonderful goals. Gorka Rodriguez with a great finish. Sagnier, similarly, and Todorovic. What a crack from the edge of the area. Again, there was a slight negative in that Gorka ended up with a red card. It was a second bookable offence, so he shouldn't be out for too long, but Cavalier also ended up with a light groin strain. Now, I think he only ends up being out for a couple of days for that, so we shouldn't have any problems there either. Salcedo did have food poisoning before the Chelsea game, which meant he couldn't play, but we didn't have any issues. And yeah, going into the Southampton game, we scraped by 2-1, but these are the sort of games we would have struggled in last season and ended up drawing. So I'm really, really happy that we came away with all 3 points. Right, guys, I'm going to take a quick rest for a minute and then we're going to actually play this Aston Villa game. And I'm back, guys. Before we jump into the tactics screen, start looking at the team, I need to explain something. We have Aston Villa followed by Lyon in 3 days' time. Now, that Lyon game is really important, and we've just come off the back of an international break where quite a lot of my key players are a little bit tired. The last thing I want to do is go into the Lyon game with a weak team and end up losing or drawing our biggest opportunity to overcome the team that will probably be against us to finish second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest and risk messing up in the Aston Villa game. I think it's the wisest thing to do, especially when you consider we've got Manchester United away from home 4 days after the Lyon game, which we're going to need our best team for sure. So this is the team I've gone for. It is virtually second string all the way through. Other than the goalkeeper Savage, You could argue Gorka Rodriguez is a first team player, and possibly Lara or Salcedo. We've not quite worked out yet what the best combination is up front. Lara's not scored yet, but he's got good attributes, and I do think he'll come good. He was top goal scorer in the league last season overall. Salcedo gets goals despite not having the best finishing nor composure, but he's great off the ball. He's fast, he's skillful, he's agile, so he can get in behind. I personally think Salcedo's probably going to be the option off the bench long term. As an impact sub. And Alex Lewis had a great start to the season, 3 goals and 4 assists, so he's probably the one that I want to keep for those games, like the Lyon one, hence why he is on the bench. Right, let's jump into the game, guys, and see what we're up against. I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm a little bit nervous. When you look at this here, we've got Dionku and Horvath, who both aren't match sharp. Foresti the same, and Schuller, they're both meant to be the creative force in the team, and Salcedo could do with a little bit more game time as well, so we really are lacking there. Could be a problem, especially when Aston Villa have Robinson, a regen with cracking pace up front. Luckily, he can't generally finish. Watch him now, he'll go and completely ruin what I've just said. But they have got some good players. They've got likes of Jack Grealish. Arion's a good playmaker, another regen. As Horvath takes the corner, Sagnier picks it up. Horvath, go on, have a go. Oh, nearly. As I was saying, they've got a decent team, so they could get in behind, and I'm a little bit concerned that the fitness of our defence may get caught out. Horvath. Rodriguez, wow. Simply wow, out of the top drawer. That's why we brought Gorka Rodriguez back from West Brom, and that is why he is the first choice right winger for this season. What a finish. On the volley or half volley, can't tell, don't care. That was absolutely sensational. More of that, please. Great start to the game, under 10 minutes and we're 1-0 up. Like I say, the concern is still there with the team and the fitness. But to get the lead is a great start, so hopefully we can build on that. Last thing we want is them getting in the game now, though. Ward-Prowse. In it goes. Oof, that one trickled wide of the post. In the second half, we've definitely got room in behind to exploit. And there you go, they're playing a bit of a high line as Lara gets in and finishes. Boom, 2-0. They're keeping a really high line there. Was that Dionku? Yeah, Dionku with the ball over the top from a free kick. That is criminal to concede a goal like that. We will take it though. I'm happy with that. I think we'll passionately tell them I'm very pleased. Give them a little bit of a boost. Hopefully they don't go out complacent from that in the second half. Foresti on the free kick. Nice cross. Sagnier. He's actually right-footed, plays from the left wing. So even though he's playing in a winger role, he can cut inside and he does use his right foot sometimes. It's just a shame that his finishing isn't very good. Salcedo. He's got the pace, but he can't take on his man. Back to the goalkeeper. Not even going to try to pronounce that name. They're moving the ball around nicely, but they're just giving it away as well. So it's nice to see, because they do have Robinson and Grealish who are quite fast in behind. It's good that they've not managed to unlock that door just yet. And it's in. Lara, go for it. That kid is very frustrating. He scores a lot of goals, but he misses a lot of chances too. And that's one of the reasons why I think Louis will probably be preferred over him this season. I think we're going to make some substitutions soon, chaps. Grealish, they're in. And that looks like a penalty to me. I think Dionku, yeah. Giving him an opportunity. Who is it taking it? Ward-Prowse. Set piece specialist, tucks it away in the bottom corner and then goads the fans. Calm finish though. Probably about the right time to make some changes ourselves. I think we'll have Salcedo off because I would like him playing in the next game, and also, like I was saying, Louis could have some joy in behind. We'll also have Sagnier off because he's looking a bit tired. If we get Todorovic on, he's got mega pace and acceleration and he's very good on the ball. So I'm hoping that with both strikers pressing, he can maybe carve his way through the middle as the box-to-box midfielder. We'll see. Brun to Lara, cuts it inside to Todorovic, gets it out wide to Cavalier. Off the bench, can you make a difference? Go on, son. Horvath, went for the spectacular, should have brought it down. We're still 2-1 up. And Todorovic, go on! Oh my god, you did not just miss that. Comes back to Todorovic. Look at all that space. How could he possibly have missed that? Think we're probably going to have to... Oh, Todorovic, this is exactly what I was talking about. His pace, acceleration, in behind, but that finishing again. Such a good player, but he can be so frustrating sometimes. He gets the opportunities, he just doesn't take them. And I tell you what, I think we've got a penalty there, have we? Rodriguez, yes, he's done us a solid, and he's going to take it. Please don't miss. Come on, Gorka. Get in. There we go. That should be game, set and match. Let's go to a cautious mentality. And we'll also switch on the shouts, I think, to tighten up just to see the game out. Great victory, 3-1. It was much tighter than the stats show. We had 5 clear-cut chances, so we should have really walked away with it. But Aston Villa were in it till towards the end before Rodriguez went and won a penalty and then converted it. I always know who Rodriguez is because he's one of the very few who has his shirt properly tucked in. Robinson, oh, a good save by Savage. Pretty poor effort from Robinson. I did look at him last season, but that finishing and what you just saw there is precisely the reason I didn't end up buying him. Good performance, 24 shots, 15 on target, 5 clear-cut chances. Not a massive line share of possession, but we aren't bothered about that. Just before we pop into the next game, guys, so we're made favourites, 6-4 favourites against Lyon. It's going to be quite a tight affair, though, and if you look at their form, pretty good. They won the last 4. Yes, we've won all of our games at the start of the season, but they only lost against Lille, although that was at home, so maybe they should have done better with that. Quite narrow victories in some of their games as well, so there is certainly hope in this match for us. We've also just seen that Gorka Rodriguez got made the best right winger for the week. He has made team of the week, and yeah, some really good performances for him. I'm loving how his attributes have risen. 3 goals from 4 starts, and if we have a really quick look at the Premier League table, we've scored 17 goals and only conceded 3 from the first 5 games, so I'm very happy with that. Liverpool are breathing down our necks, as are Arsenal and City. Good start, very good start. Alex Luis has come in with 4 assists. Capadonna and Carvalho have been freaking sensational from the right and left back positions. Capadonna, we almost lost him actually in pre-season. Lyon came in and made an offer of about 15-18 million. We actually had a release clause in there that I didn't realise for 23 million, so I had to make a pretty rushed contract offer of almost 50 grand a week. That was increased from about the 12 he was on before. So yeah, massive increase, but it's well worth it because we can't afford to lose him. I won't be able to replace him. And Carvalho, similar, we had to give him a new contract as well, just to get rid of a release clause. That's the starting 11, guys. As I said, almost full strength. The only player in there that's missing is Rodriguez. We're playing Denea on the right wing instead of Rodriguez. Still a great player. He's more of a crossing winger rather than someone who will just carry the ball and try to take on his man. Just a different approach. But we do have Alex Louis on the left side of the attack who can head and can jump. Now, the way this system generally works is the left side box-to-box midfielder has the freedom to try and pull defenders away. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of space for Louis, either in behind or from the crosses. So York City's first game in the Champions League in their entire history. Lyon at home. Like I say, they've got Agresta, so very good striker who can certainly get in behind. Their right wingers are really good regen, and Philippe Anderson, he looks quite tasty as well, ex-West Ham winger. Dominguez we've looked at, and Odegaard. Just have a quick look at the defence, Denea. How's his stats come along? So he's not bad, but he's also not brilliant, so there might be an opportunity there. And Bessia, again, not a bad defender, but I'd back us against that back line. I really would. Right, let's do the old inspirational team talk. Quietly confident here, boys. Quietly confident. Todorovic. Can he use his pace and his dribbling to get in behind? He has to pass it to Lara. Lara, get the ball in. Denea. We've given the ball away. They seem to be sitting in a bit deep and then leaving Agresta up front. Ooh. Good save there. Very good save by Savic. He's bailed us out, to be fair. He tries to get out wide, but that's a terrible pass. Picking up the scraps. Louis, yes. Louis scores. That's his 4th goal of the season. Great assist from Chevalier. And Dene is actually injured for Lyon. That looks like a really bad injury. He's rolling around holding his knee. And Strickland back in there. Chevalier picks up the pieces. And Louis with a cracking finish into the bottom corner. Deal with it. Stella. Back to Savage. Herbert. Carvalho. Dene. Dene moves the ball forward. Dilly-dallying. What are you doing? Why pass back there? Frustrates when players with acceleration and dribbling do that. Lara. He's out wide. The ball comes in. Louis. And just as we were talking about his aerial presence and his heading ability, it comes into play. What a goal. Fantastic. Lara, I thought he'd cocked it up, but he cut back inside, got the ball in. Louis lost his man with his off-the-ball movement and used his aerial ability. That could be the game, set and match. The great thing with this system is when you do go in front, it is very stable at the back. You've got wingers that are defensive, and the inverted wing backs do a good job at the back as well. Now it is a high line, and it is a high line of engagement, so it can be risky at times, but I do find more often than not it's quite stable. Strickland, out wide, loads of space for Dene. Can he produce the goods? Good tackle from the Lyon defender, but Lara almost in there. Corner, Capadonna. Oh, so close. The left back to the right back, but just over the bar. We've had 9 shots, 3 on target, and we've actually both had a clear-cut chance each. Now, Cavalier has a bruised knee. That's the sort of thing I would call a boo-boo. We're not going to take you off for that, mate. Very pleased with that. Very pleased. Let's keep it going, guys. Good long throw. This is where we can be dangerous, and Capadonna gets his 3rd goal of the season from left back already. Boom. This is where we can be dangerous. Carvalho with the long throw, Lau with the knock on, absolute mayhem, and Capadonna's in the right place at the right time to put the ball away. This is the great thing again with the system. We do well from set pieces, so if it's a tight game or it's very hard to break the deadlock, we do always have that up our sleeve. As Chevalier brings the ball forward, can he pick out the pass? Very nearly. He's got another chance though, and Louis is in space, slots home, fantastic finish. This game is all over, guys. Sagnier, good ball through to Salcedo, who has pace. Nearly, very nearly. It's been a very good game. 13 shots, 6 on target, 4 clear-cut chances, and as is always the case, we haven't had much possession. But that's not what the game is about. It's about winning. We're into the 90th minute now, guys, so that's it. That is all done and dusted. As you can see, Real Madrid ended up drawing. I can't believe that. Yes, they were away from home, but to draw against Krasnodar, that is a really big result for us. Lyon managed 6 shots on target from their 6, 2 clear-cut chances. But like I say, the result is what matters, and that's what we've got. Excellent performance. 4-0 victory, and that leads us romping into the first Champions League game in our history. Very happy with that. We've got Man United double bill coming up next. We're not going to be playing those games tonight, obviously. This video's gone on for way too long. We're going to be looking probably to come back, I would imagine, somewhere around the Christmas period, I think. We'll try and get a bit of a chunk of games through for you guys so that we've got something to talk about next time, and we'll maybe pick one of these games here. Possibly the Real Madrid game might be an interesting one to watch with the sort of team they have, but it all depends what's happening in the Premier League as well. So I'm going to sign off at that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please do click the subscribe button and hit that bell so you get notifications when new videos come out. Give us a follow on Twitter, give us a follow on Facebook, hell, give us a follow on everything, and get yourself on the website, get some tips, guys. That's what it's there for. footballmanagerstory.com. This is Darren. I'm out. Thank you so much for following, guys.